Okay, can you hear me now? Hey, look, I decided to stop typing and to actually talk. So, let me mute this before it starts coming through to cause a loop back. So, all the drums on this were Queen of Pinnacles. That's it. I'm working through the rig that I'm going to be doing. So the snare was actually the Queen of Pinnacles snare on it, and just set different ways, and I adjusted it throughout. And the great thing about the Queen of Pinnacles, it has this low pass to high pass filter, individual mute switches for each of the voices. I'm running the kick out on its own channel to channel 1 of the zone. I've also got the kick running into the Mesor for side chaining, and then I have a Mesor, an Overseer, and then a 4MS wave recorder that I used to record my sets, that's just set as an effects loop, as a master effects loop on the main on the main zone mixer. So kick's going into, number 1 here. Rest of the drums from Queen of Pentacles are going into number 2 here. And then 3 and 4 on the zone are... Oh, I'm still getting audio right there. 3 and 4 on the zone are... it's because these aren't closed all the way, that's why. No, still getting noise. Oh, it's this one. There we go. 3 and 4 on the zone are these 2 switches that are bare modules. They're mounted upside down. I don't know how well you can see them, but they're the SW2 TCH. So I have 2 of these modules. So the idea is basically I can line up 4 different voices patched into each of these and play one on one channel, then crossfade over to the other channel on the zone mixer, and then while I'm away from the channel, switch it to the next switch, preview it on the headphones and the cue functionality on the zone, and then morph back over when it makes sense. So I'm planning on lining up everything. I'm doing all of my mixing. Sorry, that's my pet parrot going nuts because I'm talking and I have the door open. I'm doing all of my mixing right now, with the exception of these switches and a little 4 HP stereo mix that I may use to do a sub mix in here. But I'm doing all my mixing in filters and in the zone, so no master stuff. And then, yeah, straight into zone via the kick module. So the Queen of Pentacles kick is going straight back here, and I'm using the most janky little adapter setup. Got this little, I don't know if you can see that, little, it's just a regular patch cable into a mono to stereo jack into a 2-prong mono jack, which is then going into 2 RCA style plugs in channel 1 on the zone. So that's doing my main, that's the kick. And that way I can shape the kick and really evolve it, not only in the rack a little bit, because you can change how much tail it has, and if you play with trim pots, you can tune it a little bit. But beside that, I can actually shape the bass, all the EQ levels on just that throughout the performance, and add a filter onto it, because there's a filter on the zone that I can assign to different parts. And then, like I said, the rest of the drums are all going, that are the more trebly drums, are going on the second track. And the idea is I'm going to be able to crossfade between 2 different things. Now, for the effects, and it's not too hot. Well, the good thing is it's a Pro DJ mixer, so it has a gain input at the beginning. So I have the gain. All these channels have these little gain things, so I have them turned down really low, and that basically handles the Eurorack signal not being too hot. And then to answer the effects question, I've got Starlab. There's a effects out 1 on each channel on the top here that's going into the magneto, and then the out from the magneto is coming back into this first channel here. So I can basically 0 to 10 on each one of the channels, have it pass through the magneto if I want to. Then additionally, the second row here is all, and that you can also send pre and post, but I normally send post. And then the second row here is same thing, send for the second send. And so the second send is currently going into the Starlab and then coming back into this second channel. Now there's 2 other returns on this, so I could split both of these channels into another out that would then come back into the C and D ends, and then it would just be a matter of turning up these 2. They're not even on right now, but this would turn them on, and then I can cue them up if I wanted to too, and turn them up to. But there's not as much control as far as EQ shaping as you have over here. Now, sometimes what I'll do, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do for KnobCon yet, because I'm still practicing setting up what I'm going to do. But sometimes what I'll do is actually use channels 1 and 2 here, A and B, sorry, that are the effects returns. I'll use these as full-on inputs. So I could have six total channels on here if I wanted to, and then just use the C and D returns as the audio returns. But that just means, like I said, just volume control on those two things when you want to ramp them up, and no actual EQ shaping. So, oh wow, I'm really loud. When I said so, I went into the red. So yeah, the idea is this whole rig's going to go, well, just to be clear, all I'm planning on and bringing to Chicago is the Amalgamod case, the Hapax, which I'm going to be using for sequencing, and then the Zone. I'm not bringing the TR8S or these two other racks over here. This I'm going to take, this smaller rack, which is more of a single voice and then drum rack with Pittsburgh modular modules and stuff in it, is what I'm going to take next Saturday to Dallas-Fort Worth modular on the spot. So I'm going to go perform with just that. So, but for Chicago and KnobCon, I'm taking the Amalgamod, the Hapax, and the Zone. The Amalgamod will come on as a carry-on with me on the plane. And then under this desk, let's see if I can pull it out. No, a little hard to pull out. I've got a huge, underneath the desk, I have a huge, like this big, Pelican case that I'm just going to check with the Zone, probably the Hapax and all the cables that I bring, maybe some underwear. We'll see. Anyway, that's my current plan, and I'm just trying to. So I was testing the streaming because I got a new MacBook Air M2 to replace my dying Windows laptop. I'm trying to relearn everything that I know about streaming on Mac, and the Zone has two audio interfaces in it, but for some reason on Mac, OBS only sees channel 1 coming out of it and not the master coming out. So I had to use Loopback, which I downloaded, installed, and was running very well for the beginning of the stream. And then once it started hissing and blowing out your ears, that was it saying, "Sorry, you've exhausted all your time for the trial." So I guess I got to buy Loopback because it seems like it was working well, and it seems like it could be a powerful routing system for this on the go forward. So yeah, it should be fun. Hopefully I can get a full 45-minute set planned and have a good time and sound awesome. And if I fall on my face, I don't think it'll matter that much because it's a bunch of synth nerds at KnobCon. It'll be a friendly set. In any case, I'm probably going to do some more streams like this after I purchase Loopback and actually have everything set up, kind of talking through, and probably with the camera adjusted to actually, and with the parrot not there where he's making all that noise in the background, but actually, and a mic plugged in so that I can actually, at the same time that I'm playing, talk over it and describe what all the different modules are and what I'm doing. So yeah, it should be fun. The cool thing I think I'm looking forward to is I'm going to really use the ADAC, which I have to update its firmware again, but the ADAC looper and granular processor. I have a plan in my head for how I'm going to use it as a layered thing on top of a lot of the performance, sparingly at times and sometimes in a big cacophony of stuff. But I'm bringing a mic with me, so I'll actually live sing stuff into the thing and do it. Why do I like the Scorp? I actually have this. I also have my two major sequencers right now are the Scorp and then also the Vector with Expander, which I have in a little pod separately. I thought about bringing the Vector to this, but honestly, if I bring the Vector, I also have to bring the what's the little launch pad? Oh yeah, the launch pad that works with it to do all the drums the way I like to, and the Hapax actually lets me do all the drums easily in the same, without an extra set of pads or whatever. So I thought I'd try that for KnobCon. Also, I've just right now, all I have patched coming from the Hapax is one MIDI cable out into the Mutant Brain from Hex Inverter. So the Mutant Brain so everything's patched locally. So there's one cable from this to this, and then I can have pre-patched 1, 2, 3, 4 voices that are coming over this, plus all my drums. And so channel 1 is the first voice, channel 2 is the second voice, channel 3 is the third voice, channel 4 is the fourth voice, which I don't have anything on right now. And then channel 5 here is the actual drums. And if I start, oh, you can't hear it because I have everything turned down. Anyway, you can hear it over the mic. It's not going to be the best sound quality. But what's cool is here, if I didn't want to mute via the Queen of Pinnacles itself, I can mute all the tracks however I want on here. And you can even, while it's muted, create an alternate track. Wait, how do I do that? So now I have this alternate track for the track of the snare, so I can just hit mute and switch back. If I wanted to do that, that's just, anyway, so that's cool. And the other thing is, because this is very similar to, and this is something that the Vector can't do that I'm looking forward to trying with this. Well, it can kind of do it, but anyway, let me show you. If I go to, not live mode, but if I go to this pattern mode, I can basically, for each of the tracks, create a whole set of patterns that I can switch to any one of them live, just like you can on Push or Ableton or on an Akai Force, for example. And I can also launch a whole lane at the same time, so I can click a whole lane. So I can program a whole performance set, and then I can also have a second whole performance set in another, because it has a A-B switch where you can mute A and switch over to sequence set B with a whole other set. So it's very, very similar to the mixer. It's very DJ style, where you can really plan out a full performance. And it's got, like, it has MIDI control out, like I said, for 4 different devices. And then it has 4 CV and 4 gates out, so you can load up channels like that. So it's a pretty cool sequencer that I've been enjoying so far. The only thing I don't like about it, which I'll show you real quick, is if I go to, let's go to track 2 maybe. If I go to the step view, no, not 2. 2's not a good example. 1's a good example. So right now you don't see any steps, because over on the screen it's just showing a small view, and that's zoomed out. But I have to hit the second button to see all the notes. And so here's a note that's high up here. I can click on the note and see what it is. It's a C5 1/4, and I can change it by clicking on it and doing stuff. But if I have to scroll down a bit to see the next set of notes. And sometimes what happens is, between jumping from here to here, depending on what zoom scale you're at, there'll be notes that are in between those 2 views that never show up on it, which is annoying as shit. And you have to use the second button and click up and down to just nudge versus jumping a whole page. So that's my one gripe about the packs, honestly. Like, other than that, it's pretty good. And it's got some cool automation, like it's got a arpeggiator built in that I was playing around at the end of this patch when the hiss started coming in. So you can quickly iterate things. You can quickly, just sequence, play things in. There's also a live mode where you can live add stuff. So it's fun. I don't know it nearly as deeply as I should, which is true of most of my modules. I'd say the same about the Vector. Actually, the only module that I know extremely well for sequencing, well, I'd say I was pretty good at the black sequencer before I got rid of it, but the one sequencer that I know extremely well and is my favorite sequencer of all time, and I will never get rid of it unless the bingle is better, is the Lifeforms Microsequence 8HP, which is right here, that I have in this other case. And I kind of feel weird that I'm not bringing it to KnobCon, but it is just an 8-step sequencer, and I needed room for other stuff in here, so I took it out. I did have it in a previous iteration of this. So So we'll see. And I still feel like I may put it back in because I feel like I may have too many voices in this case right now because but I don't know. I have to plan out what I'm going to do and see what's happening. But I got Piston Honda MK3, which could be 2 oscillators or 1. And I've got it with the natural gate and the 3 sisters. Then I've got Lorelei and Evo from Expert Sleepers as another voice. And then I've got the ADAC looper as a more of an effects granular overlay thing versus a full voice the way I'm using it. Then I have both of the Tip Top. I have the Tip Top dual oscillator, Buchla dual oscillator, which I'm going to patch in soon. It's not patched right now. And the quad function generator with the black panels that are available from transductionsignal.com / what is it? Merch. Yeah. If you want to pick up your own black panels for Tip Top, we have a few limited supply for sale on our site. And then I've got the 860 filter, which I love, from System 80 alongside that. And then I've got a Wavefront to do fun things with the ring, if I can find my ring before WaveCon. I don't know where it is, really. It's somewhere around here. And then I have Brinzo and 100 Grit as another voice set. Queen of Pinnacles is all the drums. So that's a lot of voices because Brinzo can be 2 oscillators, the dual oscillator could be 2 oscillators, Piston Honda could be 2 oscillators, so it's a lot. And then I've got the 4MS stereo triggered sampler, which I'm going to use as my last line of percussion because the packs will cover all the triggers on this plus 1, so I can do one other one here. And then I could patch the other side of it as a whole other voice if I wanted to. I also have the 7500 in here from Tip Top as another effect, which I may run another loop, like I was saying earlier, split out and run into effect 3. And then I have the a Go-Go, which is a 8 LPGs in a row stacked. So my plan is to kind of layer on some rhythmic versions of what's going on in the voices with different triggers and different envelope triggers on the Go-Go. And then for modulation in this, I have the Medic Digitalis right here. It's not patched right now. And I also have the Maestro right here, which is not patched. And then for envelopes, I have the quad envelope from Meleco and the quad envelope from Function Generator from Tip Top Buchla. So I should have enough to do some interesting things. Also, I have an Oct up here, just getting it up between stuff from DivKid. And I also have that Wavefront, which attaches to the Wave ring, so I can use it to modulate while I'm performing, which I'm planning on using that more, I think, with the ADAC. What does the ADAC say right now? I don't have it patched, it won't matter. But this is really fun to play with too, with the microphone, so I'll be able to, live talk to the audience, which should be cool. I picked the new One sequencer, the One, is that what's the first part of the name of it? I don't remember. Is it the OXO One? I feel like that one's kind of similar to the PAX from what I've read about it. But I didn't trust that one because it came from a Kickstarter, and I don't trust Kickstarter anymore because I've been burned too many times. But maybe I should check it out. I kind of want to own all the sequencers, though. I'm kind of worried that Industrial Music Electronics is going to release a new Stilson Hammer wall at NobCon, and I will want that. But I'm not sure. Anyway, I think that's enough time for this stream. I'll do another one of these soon, kind of talking through how this is evolving on the road to NobCon. And I'll start calling these Road to NobCon too, versus test run of new streaming setup, which is what this was. But thanks for tuning in, Alex, and whoever else is here. Somebody was here earlier. Who was it? Oh, Calvin. And thanks for the questions, Alex, and everything. And I'll try to do more of these. Maybe maybe stream them on. I wonder if I can dual stream. I'll have to figure out what to use. I can probably dual stream here and to Earth Module Society. Although I have to find my stream keys off my old computer and set all that up on here, so that's more fun. Anyway, I'm ending the stream now. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I'll check you later. Thank you very much.